Moments picked up on doorbell cameras isn't a new concept, and it only takes one quick YouTube search to find the thousands of clips, some extremely viral. Within the crime genre of doorbell clips, creepy, scary and outright distressing content is being produced. Some straight out of a horror movie, except it's real life. I've done my fair share of watching these clips play out in front of me, but today I believe the doorbell camera footage you're about to witness has the potential to be one of, if not the, most disturbing doorbell camera footage to surface on YouTube.
I've got a parcel for you, mate. Dude, I'll put it on your door and take it because coronavirus. Yeah. Hey! No! Larry, go! Larry! He got Larry! Ah! Help! Help! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Who is it?
Ah!
Who is it?
Ah! It's all! Oh! Fucking God! Jack's been shot! Huh? Jack's been shot! Huh? Jack's been shot! Oh my God! Oh!
Right, who's dialed 999?
Alright!
Been shot.
Ah!
Quickly.
Jack's been shot!
Has been shot.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
My friend's been shot. 7 Kerry Drive, Upminster.
Oh, please!
Listen, yeah, he's breathing, but he's blood all over him. Is it on the way?
Ah!
Yeah, he's screaming. Yeah, he's been shot in the face. Postcode. Please. Please. There's blood everywhere. Is Jack been shot? Is Jack been shot? Is Jack been shot? His son's been shot as well. You've got to be quick. It's only Jack and Ray, Laura. Is it only Jack and Ray? Is it only Jack and Ray? Yeah. Yes, Jack. It's raining. Yeah. How long is it going to be?
Oh, you cunt!
They're both. It's Jack awake, Laura. I've got 999. It's Jack awake.
Is he got in there? Has he got money in him?
Oh, shit. Quick.
Yeah, they're both awake. They're both crying and blood everywhere. Please.
Oh,
Quick.
Dad.
Quick.
Oh, Dad, please.
What's going on? Where's Jack?
It's here.
Where?
Oh.
Where's the attacker, right? Where's the attacker? Where's the attacker?
He's gone to free of dumped in there.
Hang on, I want to know exactly what's going on. I'm ringing the
Jake's up there.
I'm on the phone now.
Shot. A shot.
Who's been shot?
Oh, the boy.
Who's
It's up there. Oh. Oh.
No, the sun's not. We've got a first aider here.
Oh.
Well, the sun's.
Oh.
I don't know. He's on his back.
Come on, ambulance, where are they?
Where's the children?
Where's
Where's Charlotte? Come with me.
Ah. Please, God.
Where's Jack been shot? I don't know if he's been stabbed. I don't know. He's stabbed and shot. I don't know what's going on. Just please get quicker. I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Downstairs. I'll take her with me. Shall I? Just take downstairs. Well, listen, do you know what it's like? Because nobody really knows.
Yeah. Right.
You in the ambulance.
Shut up, Cheryl.
At around 9:40 p.m. on the 1st of May 2020, during the first national coronavirus lockdown, police were called to a residential property on Kerry Drive, Upminster, East London. A violent robbery had just taken place. A small family had been subjected to a brutal attack. The family had lived at the address for roughly 15 years up until that point, and the area, Upminster, isn't a well-known violent crime hotspot. The family never had issues before May 1st, 2020. 10 minutes prior to that call, 28-year-old Christopher Sargent posed as a delivery driver, rang the doorbell as if he was making a drop-off and waited for father Raymond Hawkins to answer the door. When he did, he made out as if he needed to take a picture on his device, as delivery drivers do, and as Raymond bent down to pick up this item, Christopher flew towards him with a knife. He began to attack him, and soon after was followed by 3 masked men, also armed with knives. Footage doesn't capture what happens next, but testimony from Raymond, his wife Laura, and their 11-year-old son paints a vivid picture. Once inside, the men pounced on Raymond, dropped him to the floor and stabbed him in the head. He lost consciousness. They then set their sights on Laura. One of the masked men, Anthony Lascelles, ran up to her, held a knife to her throat and yelled, "Where's the safe?" They were looking for cash and valuables. She was dragged to her bedroom, knife at throat. He continued to shout, "Give me the cash and where are the Rolexes?" before throwing her onto the bed. Laura recalls thinking she was about to be raped. Thankfully, that didn't happen, but she did receive a deep cut to her throat. Back downstairs, Raymond had been violently beaten in the hallway, and it was then the group turned their sights on the pair's 11-year-old son. He too had a knife put to his throat. They demanded items just like they did before, and eventually, after gaining roughly £36,000 worth of items, 3 of the 4 fled. They had assumed by this point police would have been called to the scene, but Anthony was still upstairs searching for items in the bedroom. His decision to continue while others fled was described as a high level of determination and single-minded, ruthless conduct. Raymond had now regained consciousness though, and locked the door thinking the ordeal was over. He had at least escaped with his life. He didn't realise he had just trapped himself inside with one of the attackers. Raymond, a legal gun licence holder, had armed himself with one of his shotguns after fearing for his life. He ran upstairs to make sure his 9-year-old daughter and wife were okay, but it was then Anthony popped out of nowhere and the two began to scuffle. Raymond's 11-year-old son came to his aid and attempted to wrestle the gun off Anthony, but ultimately Anthony would pull the trigger, hitting the young boy in the shoulder. Anthony would then flee the scene and headed over to the home of AJ Singh, who had organised the robbery but didn't take part in it. Meanwhile, police arrived at the Hawkins family home and the boy was rushed to hospital with a 15cm by 15cm shotgun wound to the shoulder. He would go on to be left with life-changing injuries, while both parents went on to make a full recovery. After an extensive police investigation, Anthony would go on to be arrested and charged with causing grievous bodily harm with intent and robbery. He was acquitted of the first charge following a retrial, as a jury couldn't prove that he had shown intent to injure the 11-year-old boy. Christopher and AJ were also arrested and charged for robbery. Christopher pled guilty to that charge, AJ pled not guilty, and lost the case, but he did plead guilty to possession with intent to supply and possession of a bladed article. Another person was also acquitted by a jury after initially being charged with assisting an offender. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, 2 of the masked men are still at large. Police are currently looking for them. On Friday the 6th of May 2022, Anthony was handed an 18-year prison sentence, Christopher was handed a 15-year prison sentence, while AJ was handed a 20-year prison sentence.